Welcome on Thief River Falls Radio. It's another opportunity to sit down and meet some of the staff of Thief River Falls Radio. And this month, we're meeting Sports Wayne, who's been around for quite a while. Wayne,
yeah, it's been a while.
In fact, let's do that. Let's go back. How long have you been to Thief River Falls Radio?
I think I came the first time, if my figures are right, in about '88, and I was here for 4 years, and then gone 3, and since '95. I believe I've been back since then.
A little background. You're not from Minnesota, are you?
No. I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. I was born in Davenport, Iowa. I lived for a while in Platteville, Wisconsin, right on the Mississippi River most of the time. I went to college in Rock Island, Illinois. Have a 4-year degree from Augustana College with an emphasis in broadcasting, and the degree is actually speech and humanities as a double major, and emphasis in broadcasting in both.
Okay. When did you know you wanted to be in radio? And more importantly, in sports?
Well, I've always had an interest in sports. I played multiple sports in high school, and all the way back to junior high school and even to grade school. But the radio thing kind of, for lack of a better phrase, was my fallback. I actually went to college pre-medical chemistry. I was going into chemical research and going to work in a chemistry lab. And it just didn't work out. I got in a few classes I didn't belong in as a freshman in college, had a major knee injury my freshman year, and had to have surgery about a week and a half before finals. All of those things kind of rolled into one, and it became not a high probability that was a path I could complete under the circumstances. At the time, I was working at the college radio station on an independent study credit. Enjoyed it. Really liked the major advisor. He and I sat down, and the best piece of advice I ever got was from the major advisor. He looked across his desk at me in his office that day when I asked him if this was something he thought I could do. And his direct question was, how hard do you want to work? And it's gone from there.
All right. What got you up here to Thief River Falls? How did you end up way up here?
Oh, kind of the roundabout way. A guy you and I both know pretty well, Dwayne Sandin, who's gone from us now, said, hey, Wayne, he said, Thief River Falls is looking for a guy. And he kind of put me onto that. I got a hold of the people over here, made an application. They came over. I came over. We did the interview process and the tour of the community and the whole 9 yards. And eventually took the job. It was right about the time you started here originally, right in that same time frame.
Yeah.
And ended up here for like I say, about 4 years. And then for whatever reason, left. And ended up in Manchester, Iowa, which is 45 minutes from my hometown. Was a great community, loved it there. Very heavily sports laden, very good athletic teams, and really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the job and enjoyed the community. But I was working for a real young radio company. In fact, the station in Manchester was just their second property. So they were taking a lot of the funds that they were making and funneling them back into the company, which is understandable.
Right.
But in doing so, financially, I wasn't doing very well. And here I am with a 4-year degree. I'm almost 10 years out of college now and struggling to make ends meet day in and day out. And one day out of nowhere, John Praska called me. I was on the air at the time. And the words out of his mouth were, how happy are you? That's how the conversation started. Within 2 weeks, he had offered me a job to come back, and I've been here ever since.
And it's been a while. Sports Wayne, our guest today. Okay, we want to find out a couple of things about you. Some favorites. First off, you are sports director, so you do a lot of sports. So what's your favorite sport to watch? Just sit back and watch.
For me, it's baseball. That's the sport I grew up with. That's the sport I know the best. I've coached it. I've played it at every level. And it's the one that I truly understand all the inner workings of the game, and not just, here it is, let's watch it. And so that would be kind of my ultimate dream job if it were to ever happen, but it's never going to happen.
That kind of leads into the next question, probably, which is, you do a lot of play-by-play. So your favorite sport to do play-by-play then is that baseball?
Yeah, well, yes and no. You know, the biggest thing for me here is, and I've told a number of people this over the years, I think my favorite sport to do play-by-play for, and this is no offense to anything else, because I don't want to offend. I've got a lot of friends in all the sports around here, but is ice hockey, only because I'm still learning it. I didn't grow up with it. We didn't play hockey in high school. There was no high school hockey in Iowa. growing up. There was none in Illinois where I went to college. One of the unique stories is the very first hockey game that I was ever in person at, actually in the building. I was actually there to broadcast, which is kind of a neat trick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I learn something new every year.
Most important question that we're going to deal with today, your favorite snack while watching sports?
Popcorn. I'm a popcorn guy, I always have been. You know, there are varying degrees. Some places are better than other.
Sure.
But it's popcorn.
Okay. And we're going to end with a little more philosophical. Now, if you could sit down and have a conversation with anyone, it could be dead, alive, a friend, a famous person. If you could sit down and have a conversation with anybody, who would it be and why?
Well, I've had the good fortune of sitting down and having conversations with a lot of really neat people. Just the job itself has taken me to locations where I've been able to visit with guys like Tommy Heinsohn, who was the player coach of the Boston Celtics. I actually met and had a conversation with Mike Ditka right after his second year as head coach of the Chicago Bears, which was a very neat conversation.
Was it an intense conversation?
Really straightforward guy.
Yeah,
very much straightforward guy. I met and had about an hour and a half conversation along with 3 other reporters with the great Al McGuire, who is now gone from us as well, who was head coach of Marquette when they won their national championship and was a longtime TV broadcaster. So I've had a chance to do a lot of that kind of stuff just in the different places I've been. But the one guy, if I ever really had a chance to sit down and really talk to him, the guy I would really like to visit with straight up is Mickey Mantle. Mickey was my hero growing up. I got a chance to see Mickey Mantle hit a home run late in his career at Milwaukee County Stadium in Milwaukee. I was about 12 at the time, 14 maybe, and you'd have thought I was launched out of a rocket. And my father had to kind of tie me back to the chair because we were in Milwaukee, which was White Sox territory at the time. And that's who they were playing because Milwaukee at that time didn't have a team. So I was kind of a fish out of water in the stadium. And my father's trying to calm me down. And I kept saying, but Dad, Mickey hit a home run. You know, and so to be able to sit and talk with the Mick about his career and about all the pain he had to play with late in his career after an injury and things like that would really be fascinating.
All right, Wayne, thanks for the visit. We appreciate it. Our sports director here at Thief River Falls Radio, and for many, many years, and hopefully many more to come, Sports Wayne.